Hi everyone, it's Carrie Williams, Master Energy Therapist, speaker, and life coach, and welcome. Today I wanted to talk about a fun manifesting game that I like to play with my kids and, well, anybody else who'd want to join me on it. It's a good way to put a little bit out there to the universe about what you want to see and to watch how things really show up for you and how they could come back. Well, how you play it is basically say, what do I want to see today? You can do it like if you're going to drive somewhere, even for 15 minutes. I like to do it on really long car rides with my kids. It helps take the time, and it's interesting to see what will show up. One time we did it on a cruise. One time I did it just for the whole day that I wanted to see something. And we'll do things like, for example, I want to see somebody with black pants and white shoes. On the cruise, I said, I want to see somebody with a huge beer gut and I think it was a rainbow tie-dyed, that's the word, tie-dyed Speedo, and I saw it. Then I wondered if I should have asked for that, but anyway, he was rocking it out. I was like proud of him. Anyway, so just to put it out there and see what comes back. In that way, if you start with something small like that, it helps you build your faith and your belief system up that the universe wants what you want, that the universe is going to say yes to you for what you want to see. And also what kind of gives a good example of what you put your attention on, that you will end up seeing it or it will end up showing up in your world somehow. I do it with my kids because I think it's great for them to start to learn that they have accountability and responsibility and choice in what shows up for them as well in their lives. One of my favorite times is we were driving to Montana, and I'm a Montanan girl. It's where I was born. I don't live there now. I'm in Utah, but I love Montana. I still have family there, and it's a beautiful drive, but it's long. It's about 7 hours to where we need to go. And as we're driving, I thought, well, let's play that game again. And we hadn't played it for a while. So I thought, what's the most random thing? So I said to the kids, what can we think of? And for me, the most random thing that came to my mind, and sometimes it's just train of thought, weird things, it was a green basketball. I said, I want to see green basketballs. And my husband, Dave, said he wanted to see a bald eagle. My son, Jacob, wanted to see a buffalo, which, you'll most likely see those, I was thinking. Hannah wanted to see a red fox. And Daniel wanted to see a grizzly bear. Now we do drive through a little part of West Yellowstone. Well, we drive through West Yellowstone, a little part of Yellowstone National Park. It's beautiful. So there's chances for that, but it's pretty rare. Those of you who know we're driving around that area, you don't always see stuff like that. But we're like, okay, let's put it out there. Our first stop for snacks was Pocatello, Idaho. And I walked into that convenience store to buy myself a snack, and there was a whole bin of green basketballs. And my kids started laughing their heads off. We thought, this is awesome. It's just fun to see how the universe will play with you like that. And in fact, maybe even Spirit put that in my mind just so that I could have that joy to see the whole bin full of them. And so then we get in the road and we keep driving, and now we're nearing West Yellowstone. And we pull up to get gas. And I kid you not, a kid was walking into the bathroom flipping a green basketball in his hand. He was just like throwing it up, flipping it around. It's like, no way. So of course we were all thinking, this is awesome. So my kids are like, we're gonna see what we want to see. And we really did want to see these animals. So we drive a little ways later, and on the side of the road was a grizzly bear running through the field. People were kind of slowing down, stopping, looking at it. So we kind of flipped around and pulled in to see it. Not too close, of course, but it was far enough away as we were like, that's pretty rare to see a grizzly bear. We were like, that is so awesome. But the place that we stopped, Dave goes, oh my gosh, look up there. And in the tree, there was this bald eagle just sitting right above us in the pine tree. And we were just grinning. And then of course we saw buffaloes. In fact, there's so many signs with the word buffalo on them when you're heading to Montana anyway. And so, but every time we saw the word buffalo or buffalo, we were just like, well, there it is. So what we were putting our attention to, we were noticing more of. It's kind of like when you buy a certain car and all of a sudden you see that certain car everywhere else. It was like that. But Hannah didn't see her red fox on that trip, on the drive. And about 2 days later, we were going to go up to Boulder Canyon, and she decided to ride with my dad and in a different car than us. And as they were driving up there, my dad says, "Oh," and he pushed on the brakes, and a red fox ran right across the road, stopped and looked at Hannah. It was totally for her. And she got to find her red fox that she was like, "Oh, I didn't get to see it. Am I really going to see it?" And she like, "It can still show up for you." And it was awesome to see how it did. So if you play little games like that, little I want to see games, or even what you want to experience that day, then you can start getting used to expecting the best, literally, and expecting to have some fun with it. But then sometimes when we start to look at what we want to see that may be bigger, like I want to be a published author, and I imagine it, I can visualize it, but then there's some days I can self-doubt it. And so sometimes it's interesting to see the things that we really have an attachment to, how much harder it is to manifest for us because of our fear getting in the way. And so I can remember back to these little things, and if I can have these little things show up, it's just energy, it's just a thing. And understand that things are possible, and maybe I need to put more of my attention to it for maybe a longer amount of time, but oh my goodness, it's going to be so worth it. It's going to be so worth it for me when you get to see and read my awesome book, fiction and nonfiction. I have 2 of them that I'm working on. So what do you want? What do you want to see show up in your life? Focus on that. Have a great day, guys. See you again.